So I don't know if the music is too much. I'm listening to the Dazed and Confused soundtrack. So let me know if it's too loud or whatever. I can turn it off. All right. So today I'm gonna just draw. I'm working on this idea where I have this like party wave, this retro, um, like tandem surfing kind of thing going on, and so I just thought maybe it'd be cool to take my characters and try to make that work. Okay, so let's see here. Hold on, let me just check something really quick. So I'm just going to do a simple little sketch here. I don't know, maybe not a sketch. Let me back out the camera a little bit. So I started off with Beach Wizard facing the wrong way. I want to make him facing us, I think, maybe. So he's going to be on a grill. And then we have Holly is on the front. Chubacorn is standing on the surfboard with a plate. And then I'm going to have the other characters here. There's going to be a surfboard of Maddie and Sandy doing like a tandem surfing acrobatic move while surfing. And then I was going to have other characters here. So I don't know, maybe a couple of different, days to make this work. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. That's better. Okay. All right, so let me switch this up. I'm going to just take this lightly over here, and I'm going to draw. Just go with, let's see. Hello, random human. Hello, Luna. So I'm going to draw him the other way. So I'll try to just like using the existing framework here of his body, making him. Let's see, he's going to be facing this way. I'll try to keep this in the picture. So I'm just going to have him like facing down. Look, his eyes are looking down at this hibachi. So we'll just have it right here. I wonder if anyone's ever tried surfing and grilling. It seems like impossible, just because the wave doesn't last very long. And how would you get this thing out in the water without falling, losing all the charcoals and stuff? It just seems pretty ridiculous. But, Beach Wizard can do that just because he is a magical surf legend. So we're going to have his face right here. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself with detail. So I'm going to have his body kind of hunching here, just like I have in the original. And then his hips are here. And then I will, by the way, happy 4th of July, those of you in the US. Hello, baby Stridum. Did I say that right? All right, so we got the board shorts. I'm gonna just keep his legs in the same position, but trying to keep him in like somewhat of a believable surf position. So we have one foot coming forward here and the other foot maybe going underneath the grill a little bit, like underneath the leg of the grill. They should be centered on the board. You should always have the feet like right along that center line. Otherwise, if he has one foot back here, he would lose balance. All right, so he's going to be. Yes, I'm drawing these shapes lightly, and then I will get into inking and coloring. So just trying to establish like his face for now right here. It's a wave with a nose for a surfboard nose here. And then deciding on what to do with his arms. I want to have one arm holding the spatula. Maybe he has like a little spatula here. And we'll draw it like this. Air fight. I have not heard of air fight. Tell me about what is air fight. Maybe I'll have one arm down like this, like he's still kind of balancing the board. And then he has his beach cape. And it's going to be So this is getting really messy. Usually when it gets like this, I'll do another layer, and then eliminate the earlier layers so there's not too many crazy. Oh, art fight battle between artists and teams. You draw people's OCs for points. So that sounds pretty cool. Barbara. Okay, thanks for correcting me on that, Barbara. So I'm gonna draw some burgers maybe on this. And then I want to have Chubbicorn still behind, like waiting patiently right here. By the way, I'm drawing these characters because I'm really excited to have my first ever Kickstarter campaign this coming Tuesday. So I'm both nervous and excited because this character, Chubbicorn, who I'm drawing right now, I've been working on for, oh man, since 2009. I've been drawing him. He started off as like a class mascot, and over time, the students, my middle school students, really loved the character, and were asking questions about the character. When am I gonna have a comic or a cartoon show or something? And I was like, you know what? It's a cool idea. Maybe I should make a comic about him. And so yeah, now here we are, so many years later. I'm gonna have a empty hamburger bun, like he's waiting to get his food inexplicably on a surfboard. So once again, just a review if you guys are just joining me. You were one of my students. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Welcome back. What year did you have me? Do you remember? Oops. Okay, so Chubbicorn's waiting for his burger. I think I like how I drew Holly here. I don't know if I need much change, but sixth grade. Okay. Oh, right before I left. Oh wow. Okay, so that was a year or two ago. I'm just gonna refine some of the lines that I have of her. So she's gonna have her hair, eyes closed, hair sweeping across her face. I might have a little bit of her ear, I'm not sure, because her hair, she has like a short bob hairstyle. And then she has, her hair is kind of coming out like that. She's gonna have shoulders up, neck line here, bathing suit, other shoulder. So she's just enjoying the ride on the front. She doesn't really care about burgers. She just likes surfing. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can follow. And 7th. Okay, you had me for 7th grade too. Nice. So then you had me just before I left. Yeah, you guys can follow the Kickstarter campaign on the link that Saint Amant Stories just posted in the comments. So feel free to do that. I'm launching this Tuesday, July 7th. I'm so excited. So there's some really cool tiers. We have comics, we have stickers, we have for the first 24 hours, people who back any physical tier get a free Chubbicorn enamel pin, which is valued at $10. So you get like basically a free $10 pin just for doing like a comic, just backing the physical comic within the first 24 hours. And then we will have that pin available as like an add-on item later on. So I'm excited. It's going to be great. Finally getting Chubbicorn out into the world after all these years. So any of my former students watching, Chubbicorn was a big deal in the classroom. And so now he gets to have his time in a comic book. And I want to make it a series, so it's not going to... This first series, or the first book, is going to be 28 pages. And then it just starts off the whole series of adventures. I have a whole bunch of stories to write after that. So probably every year I'll do a new release of a different chapter in the story. Okay, I could draw the others here, but I don't know. I only have 30 minutes here. I've already used up 10. So maybe I'll sketch them, see how far I get. I want to draw the front of the surfboard here, and then I'm going to draw back here. I just realized her legs are kind of off-centered, so like her knees are here, her legs go off a little bit. I guess that's okay. We'll just assume the other foot is right about here, and it's kind of over the edge, but it's probably okay. She also seems a little bit larger than the two of them, so maybe I will use my lasso tool, and I'm going to make her a little bit smaller. So I'm just making sure, like, I'll move her over here to see like her height. That's about right. She's about the same size as, and now I get a chance to kind of recenter her, which is nice. So I'll put her a little bit lower, and then maybe tilt her back a little bit, so that way it solves the problem of her foot being off-center in the beginning. So this is better, I think. There we go. All right, so I have that, and then I'm gonna draw the surfboard on the other side, and then we're gonna have the splashing water. Let me zoom out a little more. Water is going to be coming up like this. Once again, I'm referencing this retro party wave photo. These are tandem surfers and just one random guy. But I want to do, the idea is to have multiple surfboards and people doing different things on the boards with, a simple, this looks like it's in Waikiki. There's Diamond Head. And then I'll have like a little bit of white water behind. So ultimately, the way the drawing will look is we'll have this board disappears into whitewater. There will be a wall of whitewater about right here. So it'll just be this wall like this. And then we have this like a variety of surfers. Okay, so Beach Wizard's pretty good to go, although I could refine him a little bit more before I go to inking, so I'll show you how I do that process right now. What I'll do is I will take out the original behind him, and then I'll lighten this layer even more. And then I'm going to use a different color just to separate it out from the background. And I'm going to draw just more refined details. You see how I'm able to now go over it and use the lower layer as guideline for this more refined layer, more detailed layer. So here's his wave, like crest, his wave hair, so to speak. He's going to have his eyes are like reflections in the water. So his mouth also. And then his nose is a surfboard. And the real wizard is the little wizard right here. There's a little tiny person who actually controls the entire body. So Beach Wizard is actually a golem made out of sand, surf wax, and water for his face, controlled by this little wizard named Kalani, who is a tiny little wizard who just gets to surf all day on his created golem. So now I'm going to just draw like pectoral muscle structure here, a little bit more obliques. I'm going to draw he has like this kind of ropey build. And then I'll draw his a little more detail with his fingers. And maybe his abs. Here we have his board shorts. And then he should be wearing an apron. It's proper barbecue or grilling protocol, but it's okay. In this case, he's foregoing tradition. Okay. And then he's going to have his grill, but I'm going to draw his little spatula. So you see how I'm just bringing this down to, yeah, happy 4th, David. Thanks for joining us. I decided to do a little surf scene of my characters just because the day it approaches us quickly of the Chubacorn Kickstarter launch. So I just thought I'd do kind of mix a little American grilling here with surfing plus my characters. That'd be a good like combo of stuff. So we have, let's have 3 burgers for the 3 of them. He's just grilling for the 3 of them on this board here. All right, that's pretty much, I think we're good. I'll draw his toes. Bring his other leg back, but he also should have it planted on the ground. So I want to make it make sense here. So his foot is going to be lined up with this first foot, big toe, and then the smaller toes. I used to draw Beach Wizard's toes and fingers with like the drizzles of a sandcastle, but it kept looking like claws. It didn't look like I wanted it to look. So it kind of fades that out. All right, so he has his towel cape. It's going to be lightly blowing in the wind. They're not going too fast, and I don't want it to be flapping in Chubbicorn's plate. So I'll have it just kind of down like this. And everything else looks good. If I wanted to bring in the others, I could, but I don't know if I want to spend too much time sketching. Like I could do I don't know, maybe I'll do that right now. Let's see. Let's see. Hello, Sam, by the way. Sorry, I missed you coming in. All right, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna draw. This is Maddie. Maddie is like this. She's a good demon. She's not a bad demon. And she is going to be holding up Sandy. Let me see. Maddie is right here. That's what Maddie looks like. This is from the sticker set that you can get. So I'm gonna try to reference her. Let's see. Can you guys hear the music? I'm playing the Dazed and Confused soundtrack today. Yeah, hello, Ryder. Okay, you can hear it. I just didn't want it to be too loud because I felt like I was like shouting over it. Okay, so she's going to have incredible strength to hold with one arm Sandy. So I don't know. I may have to come back to this because I'm going to run out of time for everything else. But what I'm trying to do is do a little like tandem surfing pose. Somehow Maddie has like incredible demon strength. That's what the reason is for this. And then she'll have her arm back for like balance. I might have made her head a bit large. I have to, again, this will just be like my first pass, and then I'll adjust it. Now, you want to make sure when I'm drawing, I try to make sure that the legs are the same length as from the top of the head to the bottom of the torso. So it looks like she's going to be a little too short-legged here. So what I'll do is I'm going to use the power of the digital art and just take that, shift it up a little bit, but also make her smaller because she's in the background. She has to be smaller than Holly, so I'll make her a little bit smaller. Double check on the proportions. So bottom of the torso, top of the head, and that looks about right. So, and I think she's about good size for the distance that she needs to be. All right, so I'm gonna draw her leg here, and we may not see her foot. We will see this foot. And this foot will be probably facing us. Let's see. I'm trying to see how this would make sense here. I don't know. She's really creeping out on the front of the board there. So this would assume that this is like the center of the board. It wouldn't go further much back than that, but defies a little bit of physics, but it's okay. Okay, so now it's a matter of getting the proportions of her hand, the distance of her arm. So I have this arm ending at the elbow here. Um, yeah, I wonder how that works for a live stream because I've seen other artists play music in the background. That's a good question. That's a good point. Like how does that work when I know they do have like um I might get docked for it maybe. Maybe they'll warn me or maybe they'll just block the video or something in the post because they do allow me to post it as a video, you know, watchable video for later. But we'll see. I just thought it's nice to have background music so when I'm not yakking, there's just a little bit of sound. So her other arm is here. I'm going to try to keep that distance the same for here. The problem with drawing bigger head characters is that when you have their arms or when you have anything close to their head, you have to kind of like make sure there's enough clearance. So if I'm going to have Sandy arched over, so there's some tandem surfing poses like this. This is a pretty interesting pose, but that requires two arms. There was one that I saw where it was like, it's kind of like this one where it requires just one. Oh wait, can you guys see that right here? It requires just one arm, but I'm flipping Sandy around to where her head can go forward. So I don't know, we'll see. Let's see. Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Super Guardian. I appreciate that. So I'm going to draw, I think I'm going to keep, so I've got to make her hips here. So her lower, this is going to be the challenge, is drawing a character upside down. I've never done this before. Let me just figure this out. I want to make sure the center of balance is going to be between the rib cage and the hips. And then we'll have her leg up like this, trying to keep this leg section the same size as Maddie's. So we'll have the leg like this, and then maybe it's going out, and then the other leg going back. Trying to just watch the size comparison here. Let's see. I don't yet have a Discord server, but I do have a Patreon. I just started, and I'm in the process of getting. I think there's like I did add an exclusive chat for there's the two different memberships I have right now. There's like the dollar tip jar membership. It's just for, you know, a little tip. And then there's the $5 membership. And then you can follow me for free as well. But in the $5 one, I do have an exclusive chat that I'm setting up. But yeah, I've considered doing a Discord. I just have to see how much time I would have to dedicate to it. I don't want to like overpromise at this stage, but I do have that in the works. So you can go to patreon.com / Jonathan and then Stamant, Stamant, and you'll be able to find that. I think I'll put a link in the description of this video when I post it, if they allow me to post it because of the music use, but we'll see. Yeah, there it is. There's my Patreon. Saint Amant Story just posted it in the chat. All right, so her head is going to be like that. And now, normally, you know, I would draw the head as best I can, like upside down. But I think what I would do, what's nice about digital art, is I could swing it around and I can draw, like, it makes sense to look at her head this way, right? So I can actually flip her upside down, and now I can see how that head attachment, it would be awkward if the neck was back there. So now I can just like do something like this. I can do, I have to decide where the shoulders would be and what her arms are going to be doing. Maybe her hands are flipping forward, or like hands are just, I don't know. I got to figure that out. But maybe I'll move on to the other characters now, because this is going to be, it's going to take a little more reference, and I don't want to bore you with me like looking up reference photos of somebody doing this like acrobatic thing. It's really useful when drawing a form drawing a pose to look up reference, to look up lots of reference, because if you don't, you'll you end up with work that looks just weird, and you don't know why. Why is it off? But when you look up some reference material, like what are her arms doing? If she's going to be in profile, which I think I like, the arms, are they going to go forward? Are they going to go back? What would somebody do in this position? So I would have to reference that. So we'll get back to that. But for now, let's just maybe start inking. I was going to do another surfboard with like Donasis and other characters over here. Like I started drawing it, but I'm running out of time here. So let's start inking characters. Let me just start with Beach Wizard. So what I'll do is get rid of the lower layers for now. And I'm going to lighten this layer, lower the opacity on it. And then I'm going to draw the... Do I have a sun character that always shines down on the waves? That's a good question. I don't, but I really want to do a comic series about just Beach Wizard. I think there's a lot of potential for his story, just like the Legend of Beach Wizard or something. But that would be cool to have like a palm tree. I made a palm tree wizard in class once. Actually, I made it for an activity when I was tabling. So there's a palm tree wizard and his apprentice is like a little coconut. Okay, I'm trying to draw. I'm using this I need to maybe take this brush out. There's this brush that I'm using. I think I've talked about this before, but like it goes from, watch the pressure here. It goes from super thin to like incredibly fat. So it's so pressure sensitive that if I'm drawing and I make a slight error, it just does that. Like it just like blobs. So I have to just be really, really, really careful with the pressure. That's my most pressure sensitive brush. And I like the line variety that it gives me, but the disadvantage is I find myself like redrawing the same line over and over again. So I'm just going over the lines, and I'm gonna do, he has like a shell for his little clasp for his cape. So it's like like a scallop shell, I guess. And that holds together the cape. And then it's basically his cape is a beach towel. So it goes over his head. This would be an interesting character to cosplay, by the way. I don't know how you would do... I guess you could do like a translucent plastic mold that you can see through. But then, you know, you'd be shirtless, and you'd have to do like a spray tan because he has like a sandy colored skin. His skin is made out of sand. So you'd do like some maybe little dots or something all over the... All right, so I realized right here, the shoulder and the forearm or upper arm is very short. So what I want to do is I want to draw like a longer bicep. So I'm just going to deny my drawing underneath a little bit and just trust myself, and like that. And then here's his... So he's a little ropey, like I said. He's just sand and wax, surf wax. All right, now for his other side. His little abs. And then other arm tucked back. I should have put an apron on, that would have been fun. But you see, I just messed up on that wide line. I had a little too much pressure. And then we'll draw his hand gripping onto that spatula. Oh, sorry, you guys are out of the picture there. And thank you, David. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I want it to be a place where I can do more in-depth, like behind the scenes stuff. Like I don't really have a place for that. Like I don't really use my Instagram as much anymore. And so a place where I can just show works in progress. I can be more experimental, behind the scenes stuff, and then have like just a cool community. And then also exclusive videos. So I'll have extended videos of like the videos that I post on YouTube on here. There's going to be, I just did my first sample. I did a video on eye styles, different directions for eyes. And wait, what are you talking about? Your costumes? Oh yeah, your costumes are famous. I have to show you. Oh man, you know what? Can I show something, David? Do you remember we did I think it was field day. I made you. You had a box. You wore a box helmet, and I don't know if I showed you, but I drew you as like this mountain sage character, with the box on his head. I don't know. Can I share that right now? I'll wait till I get your approval. But yeah, you had always the best school costumes. All right. All right, I'll show. Let me see if I can find it. Let me just do a little. You guys are gonna see a little behind the scenes on the Chubbicorn files here. Let's see here. Those are all my pages for the comic. Somewhere down here is where I drew you as like a sage. Oh man, where are you? Hold on. Sorry, I am so many Chubbicorn. Wait, hold on. Let me search more here. Hold on. I don't know if I saved it here or. Sorry, this is not exciting television. Maybe I'll queue it up next time, or I'll just send it to you. But I don't know if I showed you or not. But you were like this super brilliant sage. Like you'd be like a guy who sits up on a mountain and gives advice. I don't know where it is. I have it somewhere. It's probably in my other files. Yeah, I'll queue it up for next time. I'm sorry. I promised you something I didn't deliver. I'll have it ready next time, or maybe I'll put it in a post or something. But yeah, it was an excellent. It was one of your many excellent costumes. And it was just, a little spur of the moment box on the head. It just looked cool though. Your beard, I think it's because your beard stuck out from the bottom of it, and you looked like a mysterious, like Nordic wizard or something. All right, you guys. So pretty much done with this inking, except for the little towel cape kind of flowing in the back here, and I would have it kind of waving like this. And oh yeah, that was your sun protection for that day. That makes sense. That's very practical. All right, let's draw that hibachi. I'm going to bring back the original just to show a little more structure to work from. And I got to be careful not to make a tangent in front of the knuckles, so maybe I'll scoot it over a little bit. So I'll take take the original and just slide it up a little bit. Like that is probably good. And then let's draw that. And then, I don't know, I think maybe we'll end here today. And maybe it'll just be this ongoing project to see how this develops. Oh, yes. I always forget. Thanks, Stanmont Stories. That's why Stanmont Stories is here. Yeah, our debut graphic novel. So in addition to the Kickstarter, I have a graphic novel my wife wrote, I illustrated. It is called 3B Honey. It is about 3B sisters who have to find a unique way to save their dying hive. And book 1 comes out this October, October 20th. So you can pre-order it now. There's a link that Saint Amant Stories just posted. So check it out. We're excited about it. It's going to be a 2-book series. I'm working on book 2 now. And so we're really excited about that. So definitely you can pre-order it on Amazon, Bookshop, Barnes & Noble, or the publisher site, which is Papercuts. And so that's coming out October 20th. So if you order now, it'll be delivered to you by then, or on that day or something. Okay, so there's some burgers, and I'm gonna draw the grill lines here. Oh man, my lines are... So trying to draw straight lines with this, I know there is a straight line tool if I just hold it down, but I always like to make it a little more hand drawn looking, a little wobbly here and there, just to keep it from looking too artificial. Oh man, we won't tell. I really appreciate your support though. That means a lot. And then let me do one more thing here. I'm gonna just draw this and then like that. Oh, I forgot the wizard. Oh man. Okay, look, here's what I do for this. For a small detail like this, I will take the line art and reduce the opacity like I've been doing all these layers. I'm gonna take out the sketches below, and then I'm going to add a layer. So you'll see right here, I just added a little layer. And then I'll be able to draw the wizard. Now, I think he's regular foot, which means he's going to have his... Or is it goofy foot? Oh man, I always forget I always mix these two up. So this little guy, Kalani, is going to be surfing. So his hand is here, shorts here, legs. So that's like the little wizard guy. He looks like he's hunched over, but that's just because he's balancing himself. And then what I'll do is while the opacity is low, I get to go to the lower layer and I can knock out with an eraser all of these, like this line that's in the way. So I can just make him stand out so he pops a little bit and doesn't disappear into the line art. So I'm just cleaning up Beach Wizard's line art right here. And then I bring up the opacity on both. So on this lower layer, bring it up, and then you can see it just seamlessly, like it fits in there, which is nice. All right, so there is Beach Wizard grilling while surfing. Doesn't make sense. Now that I see it, I want to make sure I fix this really quick. Hold on, let me just do this. I should probably put his foot... Actually, no, it's okay. As long as this leg of the grill is lower, it looks like it's more centered, because having his foot here looks kind of weird. But this one's lower, so I'm going to put it even lower to make it look more centered. All right, you guys, I want to keep drawing this. I think I'll work on this a bit more next time. I can talk about color, inking, and stuff, and then again, I'll figure out what to do with, this character, like with her arms. I'll look up some reference for what to do with her arms, and then decide on what suits they're wearing. But also, later, another surfboard here with other characters from the story. So Donasis may be here. Maybe doing some acrobatic stuff with some other characters here. So anyway, that is, I think, pretty much it for the day. I have to get back to my 3B Honey comic coloring and the rest of the day. And yeah, hope you guys have a great week. I will see you back here next Saturday. So we'll be continuing this drawing next Saturday. All right, take care, you guys. And please remember, this Tuesday is, if you check the comments, this Tuesday is... going to be the big launch of the Kickstarter, and so please check that out. So this Tuesday on Kickstarter it launches. All right, let me check comments if you guys said anything, and then I will call it a day. Let's see. Splatoon characters, Luna. Yeah, I could probably do maybe a Splatoon thing. I'll look into it. Thank you for getting that first book. Well, the first book, it's actually kind of confusing. The first book looks a lot like our new book. The covers are exactly the same, but the one coming out in October is actually more than twice as long. So the first book is 65 pages. The new book is 160 pages. So you want to make sure you see the Papercuts logo on the lower part of the I don't have a sample to show you, but check out those online. You'll see that the page length is different. Let's see. All right, you guys, I'm going to get going. Have a good week. Have a good 4th of July, and I will see you back here next time. And we'll be working more on this pose and everything. All right, take care, everybody.